It's been 5 years since the natural gas leak was discovered at SoCalGas Aliso Canyon Storage Facility in the San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles. The gas leak lasted 4 months, releasing roughly 100,000 metric tons of climate-destroying methane and other harmful pollutants that threatened nearby communities and forced more than 8,000 families to flee their homes. It's why we need Governor Newsom to keep his promise and shut Aliso Canyon down. So what happened in those 4 months? SoCalGas discovered the leak on October 23rd. It took days before SoCalGas stopped gas injections and informed the Los Angeles City Council and Health Department. Nearby residents in Porter Ranch began experiencing headaches, nosebleeds, nausea, vomiting, and shortness of breath, and made calls to the fire department, air quality officials, and 911. Nearly a month later, oil and gas regulators issued an emergency order demanding SoCalGas turn over testing data and share their plan to stop the leak. After we organized more than 100 sick people to phone in complaints, the health department orders SoCalGas to relocate residents because of the health threat. By December, LA Mayor Eric Garcetti dubs the leak a natural disaster. SoCalGas fails to stop the leak after several attempts and estimates it'll take another 3 to 4 months to contain. The city files a lawsuit against SoCalGas, and the U.S. EPA launches an investigation into the incident. By the end of that year, nearly 3,000 families will have to relocate. In January, nearly 3 months into the ongoing leak, Governor Jerry Brown finally declared a state of emergency, establishing more oversight and requiring SoCalGas to cover all costs related to the leak. U.S. Senators Barbara Boxer and Dianne Feinstein get involved, calling on the EPA to provide further assistance. And 2 schools near Porter Ranch had to relocate to new facilities after an increase in absences and reports of feeling unwell. On February 11th, more than 100 days and about 100,000 metric tons of methane later, SoCalGas finally stops the leak. It is permanently sealed by February 18th. The Aliso Canyon natural gas leak was the largest blowout in U.S. history. It released about 20% of California's climate-destroying methane emissions in 2015, with a 100-year climate impact similar to over 500,000 cars. Methane is a dangerous greenhouse gas, 86 times more potent than carbon dioxide over a 20-year period, and is fueling our climate crisis that has brought devastating, record-breaking wildfires to California. The gas leak released more than uncontrolled greenhouse gas emissions. It also pumped toxic pollutants to nearby communities. Over 8,000 families fled their homes. Air monitoring studies in communities near Aliso Canyon found elevated levels of pollutants, including cancer-causing chemicals like benzene and formaldehyde. Chronic low-level exposures or exposure to a mixture of chemicals could increase health risks. A survey of hundreds of Porter Ranch homes found over 70% of residents had headaches and nearly half experienced nosebleeds. Health officials found evidence of metals, consistent with those found at the gas well, in dust samples collected from Porter Ranch homes that could have caused headaches, nosebleeds, and nauseas. In 2018, firefighters that were on site during the blowout filed a lawsuit against SoCalGas after being exposed to pollutants, including benzene and formaldehyde. Many suffered headaches, nosebleeds, and some have been diagnosed with cancer. The negligence and poor response to the leak by SoCalGas had significant impacts to the environment and community health. In 2018, SoCalGas reached a nearly $120 million settlement with government agencies to address the damage from the leak. As of summer 2020, SoCalGas was facing nearly 400 lawsuits and had settled several civil and criminal complaints. SoCalGas estimates the leak will cost the company at least $1.4 billion. Despite all of the damage, Aliso Canyon still operates today and puts the public at risk. Just 6 months after the leak was sealed, the facility had another leak, and SoCalGas again failed to immediately notify the public. Governor Newsom pledged to shut down Aliso Canyon, but has failed to follow through. Instead, SoCalGas continues to inject gas, and usage has increased 3,000% since he was elected. We must shut down the facility as soon as possible. Aliso Canyon is at risk of earthquakes that could cause another blowout and has already been threatened by wildfires. Contrary to the claims made by SoCalGas and California regulators, Aliso Canyon's operation is not critical to maintaining a reliable electricity or gas supply. Climate change and public health can't wait. Tell Governor Newsom we can and must shut down Aliso Canyon.